Are you struggling to run Entity Framework Core migrations from a .NET Standard library? You're not alone. Today, we're diving into this common issue and finding out if it's even supported. I totally get it. It can be incredibly frustrating when you think you have everything set up correctly, only to hit a wall. Many developers have faced this exact problem, and it can feel like you're stuck in a loop. Let's look at the specific question at hand. One user asked, is EF Core migration supported from a .NET Standard library? They mentioned that their migrations work perfectly in a .NET Core library, but fail in .NET Standard 1.6. Sound familiar? Let's explore this together. So, what's the deal with .NET Standard and EF Core migrations? .NET Standard is designed to be a specification that allows libraries to be used across different .NET implementations, but it has its limitations. We'll break down why this might be happening. And stick around. At the end of this video, I'll share a workaround that might just save your project. To address the user's question, we first need to clarify that Entity Framework Core migrations are not directly supported in .NET Standard libraries. Instead, they are designed to work within .NET Core or .NET Framework projects. Next, the user should consider creating a .NET Core project for their data access layer. This will allow them to utilize EF Core migrations effectively. After setting up the .NET Core project, the user can add the Entity Framework Core packages. This can be done using the NuGet package manager or by running commands in the terminal. Now, the user can create their migration by running the appropriate command in the terminal. This will generate the necessary migration files. Finally, the user can apply the migration to the database using another command. This will ensure that the database schema is updated according to the defined models. Fun fact, .NET Standard was introduced to help developers create libraries that can be used across different .NET platforms. It's like a universal remote for your code. Now, let's look at the answers provided by other users. One user shares an alternative approach for running EF Core migrations in .NET Standard. They mention that while they haven't tested .NET Standard 1.6, it works for version 2.0. To enable this, you need to add Microsoft.entityframeworkcore.tools.net to each class library containing a DB context. For more detailed guidance, you can check out a tutorial linked in their response, which covers EF migrations with multiple DB contexts. That's all on that answer. Let's take a look at another one. One user explains that while EF Core migrations aren't directly supported in a .NET Standard library, you can work around this by using a startup project. They suggest creating migrations indirectly through a startup project that references your standard library. They also mention an issue encountered after upgrading to a newer version of EF Core, which required installing Entity Framework in the startup project. To resolve this, they created a new console application with necessary configuration packages, which successfully allowed the migrations to work. Now, let's dive into a different answer from another user. One alternative solution provided by a user involves editing your project file. They suggest targeting both .NET Standard 2.0 and .NET Core App 2.0 frameworks. You will also need to include specific package references for Entity Framework Core. Next, you need to create a design time factory for your DB context. This factory will help in creating the DB context with the necessary options for migrations. After setting up the project and the factory, build your project. Then open the command prompt, navigate to your project folder, and run the command to add your initial migration. Here's the tip I promised. Always check the compatibility of your libraries with the framework you're using. This can save you a lot of headaches down the line. And there you have it. You now know why EF Core migrations don't work in .NET Standard and how to work around it. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe for more insights and tips.